By the way, if you were wondering whether or not this show had some influence on the National Football League, you're probably thinking, oh, you guys just carry the water. You're Cabana boys for the NFL. All you want to do is talk about the NFL even during the NBA playoffs.
And you be true.
No. There is some truth to that. But also, we called out the NFL for not having their S together when it came to putting a schedule out on Thursday at 8 Eastern time. And apparently they were listening because it has been announced that Thursday, 8 Eastern time they are going to release the schedule for the NFL. There's some things that are going to pop up before then. Things are going to announce some games on some other networks. But most notably, the NFL has decided, Christmas is on a Monday this year. We're going to go ahead and schedule 3 games.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead
and say,
hey, while you're down there, turn on the TV because we got 3 NFL games on Christmas. So not ideal for the NBA, I would imagine.
Okay, here's the good to this. Is we get football on Christmas.
Yeah.
What a flippin' gift from Santa Claus. Here's the downside of that. Do you know how many kids are going to have Christmas ruined because their dad's team plays on Christmas Day and they're opening up gifts, they're playing with their toys. Oh, why is Dad throwing stuff at the TV? Why is Dad cussing out the TV? Well, that's because the NFL decided to ruin your holiday with having his favorite team on TV, and they happen to lay an egg on Christmas Day.
I mean, tough. It's part of being a fan.
I'm just saying, man, the repercussions for this could be drastic. You're talking about kids who grow up not remembering back fondly of Christmas Day because of Roger Goodell and the NFL.
The nerve of you, Goodell.
Because how dare they?
Dude, we should start making on our merch line Roger Goodell Grinch t-shirts.
That's a great point. All right, so can I just throw this at you? Because obviously Christmas falling on a Monday, the NFL looks at it and says, okay, we'll schedule 3 games there. I don't know if they're going to go full throttle because of the days of the week coming up, and I think next year is on a Tuesday, and the year after that it just continues to move on. But at some point, we've talked about them putting games on at various times during the week. This does feel like this could be the bridge towards, well, let's try it out. Maybe we do throw a game on a Tuesday.
Moving on.
Or throw a game on a Wednesday. Like, this does feel like the NFL slowly crossing over into the NBA's territory and saying, well, we're just here for a minute. Well, we'll do 1 game, and then we could see this being the norm moving forward. It would not surprise me at all if the NFL saw this. And
here for a minute, I feel like this is like their definitive nail in the coffin. There's such a gap between, the NFL and the NBA that they do this, and maybe that's maybe moving forward, even if it is on a Tuesday, they say, yeah, we're gonna put in a couple games on a Tuesday.
100%.
Just to make it one of those must-see TV, appointment television type deals. I'm telling you, the NBA should look at moving their season.
Yes.
They should start at the week after the Super Bowl. They could finish in August. I think it would help improve their ratings. And players, people who are part of the NBA or fans of the NBA are going to hate me saying this, but the reality is I think you get more exposure then, and you'll have a better opportunity then. I mean, look, I grew up playing football, basketball, baseball. I mean, I would watch probably more NBA, especially regular season, if part of the season didn't coincide with football, college and NFL, and with everything that goes on there. I think they'd have a better opportunity of gaining back market share, and they could steal from other professional sports leagues that they've got an advantage over in a time and period of the year that people are fawning over sports or they need sports. They're looking for anything. Like right now we're hyping up this past weekend in, various places because, you had the Kentucky Derby on and then you had F1 and you had all these other sports. It's like, yeah, but it's not like the sports we really love to actually go watch and see. It's like the Derby you make like an annual event, or the Belmont or the Preakness. People make that an annual event. They're not going to the horse track every week. They're not watching in horse racing every single day unless they're an avid gambler, bettor, or fan of horse racing. I mean, or a fan of seeing horses get put down on the track, apparently.
Come on.
But you kind of get my point. If you shifted the season, you're going to get a chance at having a greater opportunity for not having to compete with the behemoth that is the NFL.
It's Mark Cuban, Charles Barkley have been saying this for years, and I've been on board with this from the get-go. And their idea was start at Christmas Day.
No.
But point being,
because you're still gonna get trampled.
But the point
there's no way you start the week after and you take out any chance of the NFL having a spring league. Take away from. I mean, think about it.
I know, but the
draft has become the draft because there's no other sport that garnishes the sort of attention.
I get it, but the point being is you don't start it where you're starting it now, because to their point, they're saying, look, you start in October, man, you've got NFL, college football, the World Series, like it's like furthest down the list, and you see the coverage and the discussion for the NBA when people are talking about the NBA in October, November, December, outside of like a major storyline, it feels forced. If you're the NBA, if you've got the opportunity during what are called the slow months on the sports calendar, which would be July and August, why would you not want to feature your most important time of the year, which would be the playoffs in July and August? Like, it feels like a no-brainer, but for whatever reason, the NBA continues to want to roll with we're going to start it in October, continue to get decimated by the NFL and college football and the World Series and everything else, and then we'll figure it out and hope people care when the playoffs roll around. I think it's bad business. It's a bad strategy, and you got to be able to adjust.
The NFL continues to grab more and more calendar real estate. It's just, I mean, it's hard. You know, maybe you shorten the season. Maybe that's the best thing that you could do as the NBA. You shorten the season.
I mean, that might help some of the load management conversation.
There you go.
The problem is that the TV money then won't be what it is.
I get it. Where do you go?
You know what I want to see?
That's what I'm saying. You got
to
shift it. You literally have to take it and say, we're not going to beat the NFL for the time period we're going. And if the NFL has basically, if they've taken their ships, let's just bring this full circle, okay? All right.
And burn
the NFL and Roger Goodell have come over in their ships.
They burn them.
They've come ashore.
Yep.
And they've literally burnt their boats on Christmas Day.
They're not going back.
And they said, we're not going back.
Yeah.
We're not doing one game. We're not doing 2 games.
Right.
We're doing 3 games. How about them apples?
We're taking all
Take
your
a look
time
at our
slots.
ships. They're burning because we're taking this real estate moving forward. I would say, probably the biggest, outside of like the opening weekend for the NBA. Christmas Day was like the next like landmark spot in the regular season for the NBA. If the NFL takes that, just move the whole season.
Yeah, Santa Claus just showed up with an eye patch, a cowboy collar, and a Don Joy. And he's taking everything
Y'all's
you love.
analogy on this segment was freaking amazing. Like, award-worthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.